Hi, this is Carrie B with Intuitive Bliss. And we're going to talk today, and I say we, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes, who we are. But we're going to talk about my yoga practice and how it started. And it goes like this. Take a breath. Hold and exhale. Inhale. One last time. So my practice essentially started in 1990. I had purchased a salon and I turned it into an Ayurveda salon. So the founder of Ayurveda, his name was Horst Reckelbacher, who has since passed, and the Ayurveda was purchased by Estee Lauder, as many of you may know. Anyway, I turned the salon into an Ayurveda concept salon and sold the Ayurveda products. And when I was making my order for the products, it was there in the order form. There was the option to order his book. So I ordered his book. It was called Rejuvenate. And I had been teaching aerobics for about 8 years. I also taught stretch class for the club I was working at. Anyway, I'm looking through the book because it's talking about beauty essentials, essential oils, and how to take care of your skin. And then I noticed they were showing these pictures of people in poses. I had no idea what that was. So I read further. And I kind of liked what I saw. I liked it so much that I took my husband to the bookstore and said, I've got to find more about this thing called yoga. We went to a bookstore that's no longer around for sure. And I found one book, and it was called Shivananda's Guide to Beginner's Yoga. And from there, I proceeded to teach myself from a book. That book specifically. I read it frontwards, backwards, upside down, on my head, inverted. I learned the asanas first. Then I learned breathing techniques. And then I tried to learn how to meditate. But meditation took me about 4 years because I did have that monkey mind thing going on. I had just bought a salon. I was super excited. I just learned how to make jewelry. I was super excited. So basically my day went like this. I get up around 3 o'clock, start making jewelry. After I've taken all the notes for what I'm going to do with my brand new salon, I'd make earrings for about 4 hours, go back to bed around 6, wake up at 8, go for a run, and then do the usual rituals of getting ready to go into your brand new salon that you love so much. And that was how my days went. So I'd work a few hours, come home, have dinner, create, and whatever my husband and I did at that point. Go to bed, wake up at 2, make more jewelry, go back to bed, get up. You get the point, right? Well, one day in 1993, I found out that I was pregnant. What a joy that was, because we were not supposed to have children for various reasons, and numerous reasons, actually. But I had the baby inside of me, and I practiced my yoga daily. And I recorded myself visually with a camcorder. Because in my family, when you're getting ready to have a baby or you find out you're pregnant, dad buys you a camcorder. Only if you're having children, though. So I'm recording myself in the living room doing the yoga poses. And back then, especially using the Eastern method, you don't use mirrors. It's a cellular memory thing. Cellular memories. Because today people use mirrors and they think that's how you learn yoga. Well, you can use mirrors to learn yoga, but we really want to go in and let the cellular memory envelop our entire body. So we learn it from that capacity of memory. So I practiced the entire time that I was pregnant. And 9 months go by, and it's time to give birth. And all I'm thinking is, I just want this thing out of me. Thing, I say. That's how it felt, like there was a monster in there. So all those things that I practiced and learned, and all the books I took to the hospital in preparation to give birth to this child, well, it kind of fell through. So that started at about 1 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I told the nurse, one of my students, I said, I think the baby's going to come out. I feel a lot of pressure. I just really think the baby's going to come out. And I remember her going, oh, well, you may feel that way. You may feel that way. I heard nothing but blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, really, I think the baby's going to come out. So she said, well, let me go get the doctor and we'll see. So the doctor comes in, and mind you, he was getting ready to go home to have dinner and then come back a little later. And he walks in, takes one look and says, oh no, we're having a baby here. So we're all flipping out. When I say flipping out, my husband's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And my sister just has this smile and she's as calm as can be. That's her, as calm as can be. And sure enough, we did not know the sex of the baby. We didn't want to know the sex of the baby. But that's when I caught sight and remembered, okay, let's breathe and let's enjoy the birth of this baby. So that easy birth, take the baby home. Wonderful moments, yes. And let's just have a little awe for that. So I continued my yoga practice, and I forgot to mention that I was a runner, so I did run with the child up until 6 months, until you just can't. And I had varicose veins really bad from the birth, and that was very, very painful. About 6 months later. Something was just not quite the same. And mind you, I'm a vegetarian, so I forgot to tell you that before I found out I was pregnant with my first, I wanted a bacon cheeseburger. Well, guess what I was craving? You got it. Bacon cheeseburger. And I craved a lot of things that I had never eaten before, so I would draw pictures of them and send my husband to the store to get those items. I go through another birthing process, okay? And we didn't need to go to Lamaze this time because we had it down pat. We knew exactly how easy this birth was going to be. But I woke up on February 25th at 5:35. And mind you, I did say to my husband at the time, the night before, I said, the baby's not moving as much and I'm really worried. And he gave me some song and dance. You're just over worrying. Well, it turns out I wasn't over worrying. At 5:35, I woke up and my water broke in the bed. So I go get a mirror and I look down and sure enough, there is a cord there coming out of me. Well, we had to wrestle to get the first child. And then my husband takes me downstairs, tries to put me in the car, but he had to go back for my sister and the first child. And then he comes back outside and he says, Carrie, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm laying on the floor. I'm on the ground in front of the car. And he goes, oh, okay. So that was that. And, we got to the hospital. And so I said that was 5:35. And this beautiful thing, well, I didn't know He was beautiful at the time. It was us. Yeah, it was a he because we didn't want to know. But this baby had to be cut out of me. Emergency C-section. Beautiful moments. Yes. So I had 2 children in the span of 2 years, 15 months apart, to a man and a woman who were so different. I a yogi, he definitely not. He a Christian, I definitely not. He a conservative, I definitely not. But we had these 2 beautiful children. And they are my guests today. I introduce to you son number 1, our Nicholas Beisel.
Hello, wait, that's not...
No, hello, hi. I'm our Nicholas Beisel, kid number 1.
Who goes by Nikki to mom, or Nikki Noodle.
Or Nick.
Mm-hmm. And then son number 2.
Hello, I'm Jesse.
Okay, let's back up why he's called Stevie. So I'm a Stevie Nicks fanatical fan, and I named Nick after Stevie Nicks, and I was going to name Stevie, the second child, Stevie, but I don't know. That was just like too cliche. So I found out that her dad's name was Jesse, and I always thought that Nick and Jess were manly man names. So this is Nick and this is Jess. And they're going to answer some pre-made questions and then give you their rhetoric.
Questions we have no clue what they are.
Okay, here we go. And they're in no particular order, because I did this after meditation this morning, writing the questions down. So, boys.
Hi, boys.
Hi. What's your first memory of mom doing yoga?
Well, I don't have a specific memory of the first time. I just know that it happened often. And I don't know. It wasn't strange or anything. I just thought that's just how people were. That's what they did. So I thought it was more normal than not doing it when I saw other people's parents not doing it.
Okay. And I have never asked my boys these questions before, so this is the very first time. And I'm sorry, I'm sure they're going to get pretty raunchy, so just note that. Okay, Jesse, what was your first
Just remember
memory?
Having to leave you alone for about... Can you hear me now? I remember having to leave my mother alone for about half an hour during the day while she quietly goes and does her thing.
My thing. Okay.
Meditate, by the way.
Okay. Yes.
Meditate, masturbate, it's all the same.
Okay, next question. What age roughly do you recall other people coming to the house to take lessons or sessions or...
I remember Church Street.
Yeah, I can't remember the age. I just remember the home. It was Church Street. People would come into the front room. You'd teach them yoga. And I remember their faces. I don't remember their names. But that's... What was that? Like 10?
Early 2000.
10, 11?
Yeah, we moved in that house about 2003, maybe? No, yeah, about 2003.
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah, I just remember random strangers coming to the house, stretching in the front room. Thinking, okay, this is what people do. I'm going to go play with my Legos.
Gonna go upstairs and watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
What?
That was when you used to do it at Grandma's house. We used to have lessons at our grandmother's house, and we'd have to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with our grandmother while Mom does her thing in the basement.
Yeah, because that would come on at night, right?
Yeah.
And then Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune would be in the mornings. Right?
Correct.
Any other comments about that?
No.
Okay. Next question. What were some comments you remember your dad making?
About yoga or about anything?
Anything. Just, yeah.
In
my
general?
my lifestyle, my yoga lifestyle, maybe.
I know what I've said, and I probably learned it from my dad.
Okay. Share.
Weird.
I don't know. If anything, he probably got off to it.
Did he ever make...
He was never
Nothing
judgmental
negative.
about it.
He wasn't.
No, he was...
But he'd make fun of it. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's just, for him, it was abnormal. And for us.
Yeah, getting up and moving around was pretty abnormal for him.
I'm sure it's not abnormal for all the listeners out there.
No.
Not in a negative way.
What comments do you remember from students that they may have made to you?
Like people that we knew?
No, the students that came to the house. Did they ever talk to you, or did they ever say anything to you?
Not directly. It was always, wow, that was so nice. That helped me so much. Thank you so much. Here's restitution for splitting my groin in half.
Let me put my clothes on.
Yeah, I know. It was always good stuff. Always complimentary. Always thank you
Well, they
for
knew.
changing me.
No, I'm wondering what they ever said to you, actually.
They didn't talk to us because we were young and probably very stupid. And why would they have a conversation with a child?
Well, they always said how adorable your children were to me.
Which children?
Oh, and your children are so polite. Your children are so
Shut
polite. No, they did. They said, "Wow, how do you get your kids to not bother you when you're doing the teaching?"
Chains.
I preferred it. I preferred to be left alone.
I mean, there were times where you want us to join you, and we're just thinking, no thanks.
Oh,
I'd rather go play Nintendo 64.
oh, you want us to join? Maybe next time.
Okay, and I want to point out here that the husband and I were so on polar opposites, where I'm a vegetarian and he's meat-eating, sloppy, junk food junkie, and I'm trying to teach the kids how to be vegetarian by showing them all these PETA videos.
Didn't work.
He won.
He did win. And I have to also say that my children have never done yoga with me, with the exception of when.
Hot yoga, where I sweat my balls off.
And what year was that?
2020.
I didn't do that.
I finally made him go. I didn't make him go. I didn't make you go.
No, you didn't. I did want to go. And the first time was the closest I've ever been to passing out. It was horrible. But I've gotten better over time, and I still can't balance or stretch, but I'm not passing out, so I think we're making progress.
I wasn't there because I'm fat.
He's skinny as a rail and tall as a...
Tall thing.
Another rail.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what about your friends? What would your friends say when Mom was standing on her head?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Maybe not in those exact words, but it was like, what is she wearing?
Really?
What is that? No, not really.
Oh.
I really didn't feel...
I remember specifically at sporting, like when we played soccer, our friends would be like, "What is she doing in the corner over there?"
Yeah, that
What
is
was she doing in the corner?
stretching, meditating. Yeah, that is one thing I will say, that she would go off and meditate, cross her legs, close her eyes, off in a corner somewhere.
Make weird noises.
Make weird noises, and people would wonder, and say, hey, she's just meditating.
What were those weird noises? That was making? I forgot about that. Yep.
People would think, which business does she have?
What?
People would think, what business does she run?
What's your frequency?
I remember when you guys were putting on plays and all the kids are screaming in the background before the play would actually start, that I would just sit there and meditate because the kids were driving me nuts, screaming and running.
Yeah, understandable.
Yes. Now, let's go forward to Texas. And you are in junior high and high school, and your friends are over, and Mom's downstairs, whatever, doing her yoga, maybe making some YouTube videos. Do you have any memory of what your friends said or what your thinking was at that time? Come on, let's open up. You guys were
Once
so
again,
open before
what the fuck is that?
I felt like the slightest amount of embarrassment when you would walk around in your shaggy, loose MC Hammer yoga pants. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't think about it much because that was what was normal growing up. It was more abnormal for people to just be, well, to be frank, fat, unhealthy.
You could have been one of those moms that like beat us in front of our friends.
Yeah.
Or just acted like a jerk.
A mother being a jerk. That's a good one.
That happened.
I mean, I could have said something worse.
So it reminds me of a good point, too, because when I started yoga, we did yoga in loose clothing, and that was really how the East does it. Those MC Hammer pants, which they didn't have a name. I didn't know what the name of them were, what name of the type of pants they were back then. But
Haiku pants?
No, they're called tie pants.
Parachute?
That's what they call them now. But I wore a lot of those, and I was not westernized yoga, so I was practicing complete Eastern-based yoga, and tight clothes was not a part of it, nor were the mirrors, like I said, so we didn't have the mirrors in my home studio for sure. But I was always hoping that my sons would, yes, like I said, be vegetarians and actually practice yoga. So has it ever entered your mind, Jess, to actually practice yoga?
No.
Could you explain maybe why?
I'm trying to think of how to explain that. Come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I've entertained the idea, and that's about as far as it's gone.
You've gone 2 classes with me.
Yeah, I definitely have thought about going vegetarian at some point because I kind of have, for the most part, for the most part. After I sat here and just ate some scrapple, but
Nobody knows what scrapple is.
It's the worst part of the pig.
But yeah, I think I could go vegetarian. Yoga, I say it's tough, but obviously with anything you get better over time. Maybe meditating. Meditating might be the better thing, just to calm down my mind sometimes. Because it's running wild all the time.
Yeah, mine still does because I'm excited about what I do. Okay, the next question is kind of a similar question to another one is when did you realize what mom actually was doing? Like what age or what grade or...
When I realized I should call the police on her.
Before?
What, I mean, pretty early on. I don't remember exactly when it was that I realized it.
Okay, so children start getting memories anywhere between 2 and 5.
Yeah.
Definitely not then.
No.
I think Church Street again.
Which you would have been what grade? Or what age?
Like 1st to 5th or something?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Because that's when we saw the books. That's when the people were coming around. That's when you started explaining it to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That I remember.
Explaining yoga? Or?
I guess, yeah.
Anything. Just
Yeah.
why you do it.
Yeah, why you do it, where it comes from, what it is exactly.
Okay, so this is your chance to really blam.
Blam?
Blam. I just made that word up.
What do you mean?
Spam.
Well, you guys joke a lot about my yoga, and I wanted you to just go on your tangents. As you do.
It's a lifestyle that takes a lot of change and a lot of discipline, and I'm not.
And a lot of inner strength. That's the thing that people don't understand. They think it's easy.
I'm weak mentally.
I'm weak mentally and physically. They seem to think it's easy, but 2 minutes in, you can really see what kind of internal core strength it takes to do it.
Okay. What was it like having a yogi for a mom? Any specific things that you noticed different from me and visiting friends? And with their moms? Or
You were active.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing you noticed?
Nobody else was active at all. Nobody ran. Nobody did yoga. A lot of them just sat around. I mean, it was wild when I noticed how lazy people were after.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them were. I'm trying to think of anybody else, but...
What about Colt, your friend, Jesse? What did Colt... Do you remember any comments or things?
I mean, he'd make fun of it just like I did. I mean, he jokes around like I do, so he would also. I mean, I guarantee he's made comments about it, but he was never judgmental. Like, well, that's just stupid.
It's playful.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there are people that think like that. It's oh, well, she's a freak.
Yes, definitely.
Well, especially because we were in my hometown growing up, and it was very strange. And I remember having to put on the literature that I handed out that this is not a religion, because a lot of people thought it was, or some kind of cult thing, which it's been around for 5,000 years, so it's not a cult. It was around long before Jesus was born, before Buddha was enlightened.
Jesus told me he did it too.
Yeah.
When I pray.
Yeah.
He's stretched out wide.
Oh. Okay.
Just got to bring the nails.
Oh my goodness.
And a big slab of wood.
Did I mention that they definitely got their...
We don't have her sense of humor.
No, they have their dad's sense of humor for sure. And he was pretty raunchy.
And for me to go from that to my mom's lifestyle, I'd probably have to die and come back.
Be reborn as a yogi.
Okay, so I know the next question is... Well, I can't wait to hear your answers. Let's just get straight to the questions.
Great,
what were your thoughts about the music that I played?
Oh, Jesus.
Repetitive. Shanti,
a lot of moaning in the house.
That was a lot of moaning in the house.
Shut the fuck up in there!
Shanti.
Yeah. Okay, I think I understand what they're saying now.
Booty, rocking everywhere.
I do remember them saying specifically, they're saying the same thing all the time. I said, yes, I know, that's called a mantra. And it actually means something.
Oh, that's why they sing Let It Be. Over and over and over.
It's like politicians. They just say the same thing all the time.
Yeah. It gets stuck in your mind. It is a cult.
Aha. And what, do you know the name of the gal that I love her music the most?
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, well, yes, because you guys were named. Yes, okay. Far cry from
ᖫPrimal.
How you know how to say her name?
Diva Primal.
No.
I know what I see the name in my head. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Really, you don't know?
ᖫPrimal.
It is ᖫPrimal. That's true.
And Miten.
ᖫPrimal. ᖫPrimal.
In Soviet Russia. ᖫPrimal.
And it goes a little bit like this.
We just did it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. And give me a little bit of...
Shanti.
Did I say I was an artist? Yes, I make Yogic-Inspired jewelry.
You're a yogi. It's already given that you're an artist.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
It's
Art good, yoga good. There you go.
mind, body, spirit.
No, so you think that all yogis are artists?
No, but it's a stereotype.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least to me. Maybe not to others, but every time it seems that meditation, yoga, all that is very popular with the artsy folk.
Hippies. I mean, yogis.
The hacky sack folk.
Pass the weed, folks.
Well, I do not do that. Yes, and I do have people assume that I do smoke pot, which I don't. I actually have a high distaste for it. Any drugs. Okay, I wanted to know if you remember any rituals that I might have done that maybe drove you nuts or you actually liked.
What, like a daily ritual?
When you used to chop people up in front of us.
Well, I have the altar. Did you ever wonder about the altar?
No.
Did you ever wonder about the mala beads?
No.
I'll tell
Because
you
you
what,
explained it to us. You told us what it meant.
there were times where I just looked at something and just said, okay.
That's my mom?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this chick?
But did you really think that?
I mean, when I was younger and didn't have any kind of decency and would maybe just judge people, yeah. But now that I'm just...
That's weird
because there's people that do worse stuff. Like there's people that decide they want to beat their wives or isolate their children. And, those are the ones that usually question, like, what is this freak doing while they go and, like, have an affair with their wife against or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got you.
The only rituals, I mean, I could just think of like a daily ritual where you wake up, you would do your meditation, your yoga, you'd eat some peanut butter toast with bananas, and then I don't know what you do the rest of the day.
What's the daily thing I do no matter what?
Restless.
Meditate.
How do I meditate?
Loudly.
I do. I meditate
you turn
loudly.
On your music, and like I said, sometimes the way you can absolutely tell if you're not in the room is you'll hear
the breathing. It's like turkey calling.
That's something I was always kind of, just like I said, like I didn't fully understand it, so I just said okay.
Well, I learned that through
a turkey.
A Sadhguru, Yogi-Inspired, with Isha Yoga. So I did go away twice while they were growing up. I went to Himalayan Institute with Panditji and spent 10 days there, and then I spent a lot of time with Sadhguru, lots of time. So much time that I had this love-hate relationship, and now I don't have any relationship with him at all for reasons that I will get into at another time. Now, I want to have a couple more questions, and one is about the decorations of the home. Did you feel or have any sense of zenfulness or bliss or with the decor?
Or you're talking about like the tapestries you'd have of like all the...
Talking about anything, even things that you look around here and see.
I want to see a picture of an ugly kid. That's me. Wait.
I don't know. The answers
Candles, any senses, like smells?
The answers are kind of boring because I didn't think much of it. I just thought this was your way of expressing yourself, and everybody has their way of expressing themselves.
I mean, it could have smelled like cigarettes in the house.
Yeah. Instead it smelled like vanilla essence and incense. Mm-hmm. Incense and peppermint.
A lot of candles.
Yes.
A lot of candles. It always smelled nice.
Nobody smelled nice?
No, it always smelled nice. I remember the colorful flags.
Flags? Oh, the Tibetan flags.
Yes, the Tibetan flags.
The gay pride ones.
Yeah.
Anti-corporate ones. Yeah. Your dad said I couldn't hang that flag outside.
Ugh. I remember seeing pictures of people stretching. Like, I want to be that one day.
Really?
No.
Yeah. So, okay, they are now 25 and 27. And I'm going to tell you, these kids have put me through...
Hell.
No, that's not where I was going. Not to hell.
She put us
heaven.
through.
I put you through what?
Cramming tofu down our throats. I won't eat it.
Tempeh, no thanks.
Grass.
Oh, that's another thing. How many meals did I have to cook per meal?
2.
How many different variations did I have to make per meal?
Depending on what you made, if it included meat, you would have one that didn't have meat and one that had meat.
And then there was Jesse food.
That was
like
me
dog
when
food?
I was an idiot. Yeah, because I didn't eat anything, but at least I didn't eat tofu.
Yeah, I was definitely more accepting of tofu and tempeh and
you're also
vegetables.
Boring. You're very boring.
Well, I did.
You
cook.
had chicken nuggets and macaroni for your whole life.
That's true. Because I remember specifically making food so I thought food for the family, and then I wasn't going to have meat with mine, and then it was definitely Jesse food again. So it was 3 different meals for
Why don't
sure.
you just leave the past behind?
Well, you've come a long way, honey, because now you eat almost anything.
Yeah.
More than me.
And it makes them taller.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Okay, which brings us to music again.
Tofu.
So I went from a Stevie Nicks fanatical fan, dressing like her, to going to more like a ᖇEᗩtä̃. I did not dress like ᖇEᗩ. I don't dress like ᖇEᗩ. I dress. How would you guys just describe my dress? The kind of dress.
Free flowing.
Free flowing.
Hippie.
Hippie style.
whatever you're feeling.
Not like...
Non-conforming.
Well, now I'd say not like a 56-year-old woman would wear.
Oh, heck no.
I'm trying to think of how women at this age dress now, and they dress pretty...
Well, think of Mom when she would have been 50, in her 50s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she was also, very...
Prude?
What's a good word? Yeah.
Prude, conservative.
I was going to say
Christian.
conservative. Yeah, very Christian.
Very, very Christian. Yeah, we used to get letters every, a couple months. When are you going to take the kids to Bible school?
Oh, no.
And I remember saying to their dad, they're not going to Bible school. Would you tell your parents to quit writing letters about telling us what we need to do with our children, like as far as going to church? So where is church to you, Nick? Or what is...
Lowest of the low. I don't care for it at all.
Organized religion.
Yeah, don't care for it at all. And I remember even as a kid when you would take us just to give us the opportunity to see what it was. I felt like something was a little off about it. And now my feelings are not good for this podcast. But yeah, don't like it. Don't care for it.
Jesse. Oh, wait, Nick, you were a self-proclaimed atheist, too, in high school.
Yeah, I think that's, I would say more agnostic, because like anybody, I don't know.
I was about to say, I'm sure you didn't know the word agnostic. You
Yeah.
either believed in it or you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? Nobody knows. People claim to.
Oh, no, they know.
I've been there.
Okay, well, but when your dad died, he said, where did he say he was going?
In
Who,
the
him?
dirt?
In the dirt, yeah.
I mean, hate to say it.
No, where he was going to
Heaven?
heaven.
Well, hey,
Yes.
if that's what helped him.
So again, you had okay. Let me ask you this question, because this is really, we were so different when I was married to my husband. Did you feel a pull in any way?
No, you guys were very open about letting us pick what we wanted. He never tried to draft us into his religion.
Didn't even know he was that religious.
Yeah, he didn't even talk about it. He didn't show it. Neither of you brought it up at all. It was we could pick what we wanted to do, and it was very open.
Yeah, I did give them the choice to. I explained everything to them, and said choose one, none, or all of them, or whatever you want. It's totally up to you. And I also took them to every event thing that I could think of. That's when they were introduced to art, which is for another podcast, I'm sure. But would you like to talk about Mom making art? Maybe the yogics. What do you remember about Mom making jewelry?
Well, you could probably answer this better because you're more of the artist.
Jesse is an artist.
You definitely
yes.
took it on more than I did. Well, I have a little bit now, but it's a different type of art.
Artist is an understatement. Let me get my artist mind.
Speak it, Van Gogh.
Please give me time to think about this. I'm very, very shitty person.
What? That's so not true.
I can't even think of the word.
You mean you are raunchy?
No, not raunchy. See, I always do this. I can't think of fucking words.
You're off color like your dad.
Yes.
Very off color.
And slow.
Yes.
What do you mean slow?
Duh.
Well, you were always drawing, and
Oh my gosh, yes, Jesse was drawing at the age of 2, and then he would hand us a book. And he would hand his dad and I a book that he had, because he wanted us to staple everything. Mind you, he couldn't talk back then because he couldn't even hear. We found out he had this thing called glue ears, but he had glue ears, and we had to put industrial strength tubes in his ears. But he would draw pictures constantly, and then we would staple the pages together, and on each page he would tell us what to write on each single page of what those characters were doing. So I wonder where you got that art. Where do you think that art came from? I mean, you were 2. I doubt you could remember anything like that. But do you remember drawing it too?
Yes. The word I was thinking of was pretentious.
Oh.
You know, I'm an artiste. I can draw a line and write 1,000 words about why it's so important because, you know...
Could you really?
No.
Oh.
I'm just trying to be arrogant like most artists. Like, yes, you know, I wrote a book about my life and just how, you know, I've been through a lot. My parents got divorced one time.
Yeah, I am working on that book.
Yeah.
There was always art going on. And
That's true. There was always art.
yeah, I never picked up on it. I can't draw or paint, but I do like visual
Do you remember
art.
the basement on William Drive? Do you remember me
yeah.
being in there a lot? I mean,
No.
you don't remember me making stuff in
You
there?
were, I mean, we were down there more than you were.
Well, that's because we lived down there.
Yeah. Until the spiders came
Okay.
around.
So let's bring
And the
this
flood.
And the flood, yeah. Not a religious flood, an actual flood.
Yeah. The battles of buying a home, you knew intuitively that you should not have bought, and you should have walked out when you said you were going to do that before you signed your name on that paper in that office.
But that's a podcast for another podcast.
Yes, and we're going to come right back. We're going to swing back around to the intuitive bliss of all of this. So I want final words from my eldest, Nick. The thoughts of just everything we've talked about and anything maybe you'd like to say about your mom?
Well, no matter how much I didn't pick up on the exact hobbies and art, drawing, painting, yoga, everything I was taught and shown is exampled in my own life in some ways. Because she gave us free reign to do what we wanted to do and like what we wanted to like. We were never told what we should do and what would make them happy. It was always about what made us happy and what we wanted to do.
Which brings me to Jesse.
What?
Jesse loves Mario.
Not a child anymore.
Okay,
He's
but
bringing up the past.
in first grade, he went to school dressed as Mario basically every day.
Here we go.
My girlfriend made an outfit for him. That was obviously a Mario outfit. I made the hat with the M, and he went to school almost every day in first grade as Mario with the mustache.
I could bring up some shit to make you feel stupid.
Basically, she wanted him to be a plumber.
Basically, she wanted me to not have friends.
Basically, she wanted to make sure he
Did
never
you-
had sex.
No, really though, but
Sex all the time.
because my dad was so staunch on the rules in the house, and mind you, he was a principal. I decided that I would not parent like my parents, or at least my dad. And so, if he wanted to dress like Mario and go to school, who am I to say no? You can't.
I mean, the first thing you'd say is, "All right, dipshit," and then do it. But
I never said that.
no, I know.
But final thoughts, intuitive thoughts of what all we have discussed here.
Confucius say, "Person who go to bed with itchy tushy, wake up with smelly finger." Don't put
God.
Twinkies on your
Okay.
pizza.
No, I did not raise them. It was their father.
Yes. This is my mom raising me. Oh, Shante. Oh. But no, I don't. I mean, I think you've raised me not to judge people based on what they do. Like, you know, like I said, if you want to be a piece of shit that beats his kids and like drinks his life away, go ahead and do that. Or if you want to do whatever you want, just don't judge.
It's a nice way to put that.
Now let's end it with prayer.
Om Shanti Shanti Om.
Very nice.
Now I'm going to stay.
X
So-
gonna give it to you.
Okay, so let's take one big harmonious breath together.
I already breathed in. I didn't get enough.
Okay, we'll try to add that again.
Let me light my cigarette and then I'll take a breath.
Okay, inhale. And Oh, thank you for tuning in. I love my boys.